Hey guys, I'm going to do a little bar overview. Sometimes my clients, even myself, will go to a meal replacement bar in an effort to try and get our calories in, not let our blood sugar tank, and basically use these as a tool to help fuel our metabolism throughout the day. Now, I recently visited a client and her sugar was through the roof and she felt like she was doing what she needed to do. I was watching her tracking in MyFitnessPal, and I was seeing things like granola bars. And so I decided to come visit her at her house and take a look at the things that she was putting in her pantry. And what became glaringly clear is that she was buying the idea that her Larabar was a source of protein. Now, we went through a label reading exercise to help her clarify, but I just want to make it really clear that the food industry really doesn't tell the truth about what the main ingredients in terms of the macronutrients that their products are. Larabar, this Larabar is a great example. Protein Cheerios is another one, but I'm going to stick to this Larabar example. So I'm gonna pop over to this particular Larabar example. We're going to come back to this particular spreadsheet. I've broken down lots of different bars so you can see how they stack up. But this is just a regular Larabar. Okay, so I'm gonna just go through the real quick rule of 4 and 9. There's 4 calories per gram of protein, 4 calories per gram of carbs, and 9 calories per gram of fats. Now, that's not an exact number, but that's the number I'm going to use right now. So this particular bar, it's got protein. It's got 4 grams of protein. In terms of fat, I'm just reading this off the label. In terms of fat, it's got 8 grams of fat. In terms of carbohydrates, it's got 28 grams of carbohydrates. So now what we're going to do is we're going to multiply the 4 grams times the calories per gram. Okay, so 16 calories is coming from 16 calories is coming from protein. 72 calories is coming from fat. 112 calories are coming from carbohydrates. This bar, total calories, you can read are 190. So if we take a look and we take 16 calories and we divide that by 190, let me translate this into percentages real quick. Okay, so that's 8% protein. And we'll do the same thing here with the fat, 37% fat, and we'll do the same thing here with the carbohydrates. Okay, so you can see that this is nearly 60% carbohydrates, and this is the regular bar, okay? So we're going to run this same thing through the protein matrix real quick. Okay, so we're going to come down and we're going to change these numbers up. This bar is hard to read. This bar, it has 11 grams of protein versus 4. In terms of fat, this has got 10 grams of fat. In terms of carbohydrates, it's got 24 grams of carbohydrates. So let's run that matrix again. We've got 11 times 4. We've got 44 calories, we got 90 calories, we got 96 calories. Let's look at the total calories here. Total calories. This one happens to be 230. Let's do a percentage breakdown. 44 out of 230. We're looking at, let's translate again this into numbers, percentages. Okay, so now we got 19%, or let's say almost 20% protein. And let's look at fat. We're looking at 30% fat. Let's look at carbohydrates. Okay, so we're looking at 41%. I'm gonna let you take a look at these. Okay, so you've got the regular bar in terms of protein, 8%. We had a little bump, but I wouldn't call this a protein bar by any stretch of the imagination. You have your primary source of nutrients in this bar is carbohydrates. You take a look at the sugars on this. The sugars, 18 grams of sugar on this. If you look at this one up here, sugars, 21 grams of sugar in the regular one. So I would not call this a protein bar by any stretch of the imagination, but somebody that doesn't know a lot about nutrition and it's struggling, they would look at that label, protein, and say, yep, I need that. That's what my nutrition or that's what my trainer has told me. You can't do that. You can't trust that. You've got to do the numbers for yourself. And so the real quick way to do that is just to take the protein, okay, 4 grams times 4 calories per gram. What is that? Compare that to your carbohydrates. Take that times your rule of 4. Take your 28 grams times 4 calories per gram. What is that? Okay, 16 versus 112. You can see that this is a predominantly, majorly high, primarily carbohydrate source of food. Okay, same thing here. We look at 44 versus 96. Well, it's real quick math tells you you've got double carbohydrates versus protein. Now, what I'm going to do is I want to guide you to this little breakdown of bars. Okay, so I'm gonna do a full screen here so you can see what's going on, so you can see it all. Okay, so a lot of people, they go to their Clif bars. Elevation, this is what I get from Aldi. I keep my sugar low in lots of other ways. I don't recommend this particular bar for people trying to look at their sugar. But what I'm going to do real quick is I've gone through the calculations on all of these. So let's do a real quick sort. We're going to sort this by, we're going to sort it by highest carbohydrates. Okay, highest carb is your Clif bar, your Nature Valley, your Kind bar protein. They're playing the same game as your Larabar. Okay, your Larabar, your elevation bar comes in at 42%, your Quest bar 42%. So you go down to, in terms of your carbohydrates, the lowest one on this list is your Fit Crunch bar. Now, let's sort this for protein. Let's see which one comes in at the highest percentage of protein. Data, sort, boom, okay, 42. Your Quest bar comes in at 42% protein, okay? That's 21 grams of protein, and just so happens to be, it's got 21 grams of carbs as well, okay? So it's about 50-50 in terms of half and half. Next would be the Pure Protein bar. That's gonna have, 40% protein. It's got 32% carbohydrates, 27% fat. I would go with any of these. These are great. And in terms of the one bar, I would go with that. Do those all the time too. But I want you to understand reading the label and understanding these bars. I'm going to do a screenshot of this, and feel free to reach out with any questions. Now, I'm not commenting on the nutrition quality and the food sourcing of these bars. I'm commenting on helping clients and helping people understand, if you're trying to get protein, you need to be able to read a label and say, is what I'm eating, are the calories primarily coming from what I want? And there's going to be times when you want carbohydrates. That's great. Do the math. Are you eating primarily carbohydrates? Same thing with fats. Do the math. Are you primarily eating fats? If you need more guidance on this, reach out. Feel free to ask questions and take a look at the graphic that I'm going to provide on this. Take care. Bye.